So stop waiting for the mothership to come and take you home, because you are the mothership that came to help lead others home through awakening. And that is why you are awakened, and that is why you see and feel the disparity between the frequency you are still connected to and everything that's going on in this world. Hello everyone, welcome to or welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be speaking about why light workers feel like they do not belong here. So when I say light worker, firstly, I just mean, somebody who's really awakened to the truth of who we are and who feels like, they have a purpose here to kind of help lead people back into that awakened state of knowing who we are. There's so many different words for it. Some people say light workers, some people say star seeds, I just say light worker for lack of a better word. But just awakened people who know who we truly are, and we know that we kind of have a purpose here to do with leading others back to that. So a phase that I think all of us go through, and I know I certainly did for a long time, especially when I was a teenager, just kind of really starting to recognize this purpose and, realizing I need to kind of actively walk it. I went through this huge phase of just kind of, before I'd awakened to the truth that I'm kind of about to explain, I really just felt like I did not belong here. And I know so many of you will relate to this, but I think a lot of people don't like to say it out loud. But many of us were thinking that because we felt like we didn't belong here and we felt, just so kind of different, many of us spent a long time waiting for something to change, like either for the mothership of our alien species to come and take us home, or to literally wake up in a different reality. And I know so many spiritual awakened people went through that phase where they were waiting for that to happen and expecting it to happen. Many of us went through this phase where we were just like, this place feels so wrong. How could I possibly belong here? And something I've really come to realize along my journey of doing this is that the reason we feel certain people, light workers, the ones of us who are truly awakened to who we are and are on this kind of journey, the reason we feel that way is because in order to make a change on earth, in order to make the change that you came here to make for the better, you must first feel like you do not belong here. Because if you felt like you belonged here, you would have no motivation to make a change here. If you felt like this place was right, you would not have any motivation to change anything here. You must first look at this world and feel that something is not right here in order to have the motivation to make the change you came here to make, the change you chose to come here and make. And that is why light workers feel like they do not belong here. And that place that you came to change Earth back into is not another planet. It's not another reality. It is an Earth, this Earth, but where people are actually awakened to who they are, and therefore we're experiencing the reflections of the awakened states, because obviously the things that kind of fill this world are a reflection of an unawakened state, and that's why so much of it just feels wrong and plastic and devoid of, spirit, devoid of love, devoid of God, the mother frequency. And that is what this is what you feel as a light worker when you look at this world and you feel like you don't belong. The reason you feel that way is because you are looking at a world devoid of the frequency you are still connected to, while other people are not. And that is why you feel like you do not belong here. And you must feel that way in order to make the change you came here to help others make, through helping others to awaken to that frequency, to who we truly are. And so when you look at this world, you are seeing a world full of reflections of a place that's devoid of that frequency, devoid of God, devoid of the mother frequency. And that's why it all feels so wrong to you. And that's why it doesn't feel wrong to so many other people, because they're not very awakened to who we truly are. So they're not feeling that kind of disparity. They're not feeling the contrast between something that is from source and something that isn't. So you see how you must feel that way. And it makes so much sense that you feel that way, because you are an awakened soul. You came here as an awakened soul to help others awaken to who we truly are. And so when you look at this world, you see that it's a reflection of something that is not what we truly are. And this is why you feel like you miss another place that you would call home. And this is why so many of us get into this kind of idea of thinking it's another planet. And that place that you are missing is actually here on Earth. And we have been there before, and you remember that in your DNA. You remember that place. You feel it in your intuition, you feel it. You can't see it in your mind, but you can feel that place and you are longing for it. And that is a place that we have been in before, but the powers that be intentionally hid, destroyed, covered up, hid it, and then created a new generation of humans who are asleep to it. And the human race has been there before. We have lived on this earth in a time where we were awakened to who we truly were, and we were living accordingly to that. And the powers that be do not want you to know that, okay? But we feel it. Those of us who are awakened on this journey, light workers, we feel it in our bones. And that is why we miss this place that we can't see, but it feels like home, and we miss it and we long for it. That is why your feelings, your intuition is remembering that place that was once here. And that is what people are calling the new earth. That's the new earth. It's us returning to a place where we are awakened to who we are and are living accordingly. And that is the place we are slowly moving into, because more and more people are now awakening to who we truly are. That is the new earth. And that is your job, to help others awaken to who we truly are, so that we can create the new earth, which is simply earth, but a reflection of humans who remember who they are, and therefore are creating things that are not, devoid of love and compassion and God, which is essentially what we're living in now. It's a world full of things that are devoid of that. And this brings me to another part of this story, which is us feeling like many light workers go through this particular phase when they are going through this experience of realizing something's wrong here and feeling like they don't belong. And many of us then, that kind of sends us down this path of thinking we are from another alien race, and we've just been put here by that alien race, and they will one day, come back and take us home. So many light workers are having that experience. And listen, the powers that be are feeding into that, because it benefits them to have you believing that this home you are craving is on another planet. Because if you live your life thinking that, you will not step into your purpose of helping others wake up here, which will create that place you are missing. They do not want us to do that, okay? They don't want us to step into that purpose. They don't want us to step into the purpose of living from that source frequency and helping others to do the same. They do not want us to wake up and wake others up to who we truly are. And so they feed into this narrative that some of us came from another alien race and they'll one day come back for us, okay? And, I keep seeing so many popular spiritual influencers posting things like, which alien race did you come from? And I saw just the other day, somebody posted a list of the different alien races that they believe in, and all it was saying, this is how you can identify which one you're from. Read the traits of these alien races and find which one you relate to. And I was just like curious, so I read it, and they all said things that like I related to every single one of them. And you know what Spirit just said to me? You know, God, the mother frequency, God just said, no, you come from God. You don't come from these different alien races. We all come from God, and we're all going back to God. And that is our purpose here, to remember we come from God, from that frequency of love, and to help others remember the same. And this narrative of believing we come from another alien race distracts us from that. And that is their intention, and that is why it has been popularized so much. You didn't come from another planet. You came from God, and you are still so acutely attuned to that frequency, and that is why you feel like something is wrong here, because you are feeling the disparity between that frequency of who we truly are and what we have created here. And you are here to help others come back to that, so that we can actually create a world that is a reflection of that frequency. You are the mothership that came to lead others home. You are that mothership. So stop waiting for the mothership to come and take you home, because you are the mothership that came to help lead others home through awakening. And that is why you are awakened, and that is why you see and feel the disparity between the frequency you are still connected to and everything that's going on in this world. And listen, it's not that I'm saying that other beings do not exist. They absolutely do, 100%. I've encountered many of them, and I'll go into that fully in another video. But this narrative that has been pushed upon light workers, that we came from another alien race and we're longing from that planet, we're longing for that planet that we came from, is designed to distract you. It is designed to to keep you asleep, essentially, to the fact that you came from God, you are still acutely aware of that frequency, and are therefore recognizing that this world is not of that frequency, and are therefore seeing the changes that need to occur, which equips you to wake people up to that truth, which the powers that be do not want, okay? That is why they feed this narrative that you came from an alien race, from another planet, and you are simply longing to go back to it. We have been there before as a human race. We have lived on an earth where we knew who we were and we lived from it, and they buried that world, and they have conditioned us into being asleep so that we do not remember that and remember who we truly are. Because in that world where we know who we are and we're living from it, they have no control and no power. And so they seek to keep us asleep from that truth. So just know that when you feel like you do not belong here, it is because you came to change here into something that is an actual reflection of who we truly are. That is what we call the new earth. And the only way to do that, to make that change, is to first feel like you do not belong, and to see something wrong with this world, because the fact that you see something wrong with this world means you fully remember the frequency of that which we truly are, and are therefore recognizing that much of this world is devoid of it. You must see that and feel that in order to fulfill the purpose you came here to fulfill. I really hope this video has helped you. I hope you're all doing amazing. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.